Hey y'all, welcome back to Tony TV, and it's time for the takeover. So, we already know, back at it, challenge season 37, episode 18. We getting close to the end, y'all. It's about to heat up. We're about to get to that final. I'm very excited. So, don't forget, at the end of last week, we had one elimination. We had Logan versus Emmanuel. It was the little It was the rocket run, where they had to run over the rocket and, keep going and beat the time. So, Logan went home, Emmanuel was safe. That's how the episode ended. But then TJ tells them that they got 2 more eliminations for the night. 2 more people are going home. So then we get into this week. And so TJ says it's going to be another guy's elimination, another girl's elimination. We got the girls up first. And he says, Sapphire Cell, that they're no longer the agency. There is no agency. Everyone's individual competitors now. And that they have to cast their votes for which female competitor is going to have to compete in the elimination. And most of the votes was lined up for Amanda's way. It was a few for Tori. I believe Nelson was one for Tori because he's close with Amanda as well. So he's like, I got to make a decision. I feel like he just threw a burn vote, but also people hate me throw a burn vote, so I get it. But at the end of the day, it became Amanda. So Amanda was going down to elimination. So Amanda was going down, and Amanda had to pick her partner. And, she had this long-going beef with Tori all season. So she was like, Tori, it's finally me and you. Let's get it. Let's get at it and see who's going to win. So for this one, it's called Drone Drop. And pretty much a drone is going to drop down a football into the sand. And the girls have to race to grab the football. And they each have their own podiums on opposite sides of the sand. So you have to grab the football and run it to place it inside of your podium, basically. And the first person to get best 2 out of 3 will win the elimination. So pretty much it's the physical elimination, it's contact. And Tori's more like of a physical competitor. Like Tori thrives for the physical competition, like stuff that's like more contact. Tori likes that kind of stuff. Amanda is more of a mental player, I guess, like logical. She kind of there, so that's what she was hoping for, but she didn't get that. But yeah, so it wasn't her day on picking partners. So they got at it. They was going. Tori, both times when they had to get the ball, Tori got it first. I'm like, man, you're already setting yourself up for failure if you let Tori get the ball, because Tori gonna outrun you every time. But the very first round, Amanda was doing good. She was holding her own, holding Tori down the best she could. Then at one point, Tori pretty much got up and was holding Amanda and carrying Amanda with her on her way to her podium. It was like the banana backpack all over again. And I was like, they gotta stop letting it happen because that's very embarrassing. But it happened anyway. And it was funny because Amanda was just holding on. Like one leg in the air, Tori grabbed it and she just holding on for dear life. And I'm like, are you gonna stop her, or are you just going along for the ride? I'm not too sure. It's not making too much sense, but I guess she couldn't do much more, so she did the best she could. Tori won both rounds. Tori won the elimination. So Amanda did not do the best in picking her opponent this week. So then we get to the guys' elimination, and the guys have to pick a guy to go in. Well, not the guys. The whole house has to pick someone to go in for the guys' elimination. So still got one rookie guy left, and pretty much even though he already been in, they still vote for Emmanuel. Which I don't know. I felt differently. I was like, it sucks because you did already have to compete once tonight, and you're still eligible to compete again. That sucks. But also, you are the only rookie, and that was your first elimination. So, hey, do what you got to do. So, in my head, I'm like, okay, as far as someone to pick, I'm like, he's not going to pick CT. Kyle won't be a bad choice. I don't think he should pick Nelson, because depending on what it is, Nelson going to rock him. And also, I'm like, Devin wouldn't be a bad choice either, because Devin's pretty much only good at mental games. Anything else, I feel like Emmanuel could have him beat at. But then I started thinking about elimination they've had so far this night. They had the rocket run, when that was pretty much like, endurance, stamina, you had to keep up with that. Then you had the drone drop, which was a physical contact game. So I'm like, they already had both of those two so far. This last one's going to be a mental game. And I'm like, Emmanuel, you're not that bright. So I don't know. But that's how I'm thinking in my head. Emmanuel, I don't think he's weighing out his odds. Also, he's still a rookie, so he's not thinking about the games they've had so far and what could possibly be left. So Emmanuel picks Devin. I'm like, okay, this could possibly work out in his favor depending on what it is. If it's mental, I don't think he's going to do so hot. So TJ tells them basically that they're solving 3 puzzles, and the first person to complete all 3 puzzles in order wins the elimination. So I'm just like, I don't know about this one, big dog. This might not go the way you thought it was about to go. So the first one is a bunch of colors on a card, and they have to align the colors to where no color repeats in any column or whatever. So some mind tricks, a lot going on. I wouldn't do too well of that personally. But Emmanuel surprisingly gets it done first. I was like, okay, so Emmanuel, you already set up to do pretty well today. And Devin was back there struggling still. He can figure it out. I was like, all right, Emmanuel, keep it going. Let's see what you can do. So the next one was numbers 1 through 9, and you had to have them align vertically, horizontally, and diagonally to always add up to the same thing. So Emmanuel doesn't seem like too good at math, couldn't really figure it out. So Tori was calling out to him, asking him what was the puzzle and like what did he have to do. So Emmanuel explains that to her, and so she's up in the stands trying to figure out how he should do it in order to win. So she tells him to put the 5 in the middle, and then she thinks the number is 15, and for him to try to get 15 everywhere else around. So as she's explaining that to him, you got Nelson in the stands and CT in the stands. They hear her doing that, so they get mad at her, tell her not to help him, don't do anything for him. You got your friend down there he's competing against. What are you doing right now? So then also you got Devin also yelling out too, like, why are you helping him? Stop helping him. But I'm like, Tori is a grown-ass woman, so at the end of the day, she can do what she wants. If she wants to help the man out, y'all can't really stop her. Can you feel a way about it? Yes, absolutely. You're entitled to your own opinion. But to keep yelling at her, telling her not to help him out, I don't feel like that's your place. She's like, she can do what she wants at the end of the day. Y'all can't stop this woman from whatever she chooses to do. If she wants to help him out, so be it. It's up to him to make it work and make it happen. Eventually, Devin solves his puzzle, so then Devin catches up. And Devin says he's already seen this puzzle before, so he knows he has to add up to 15. Devin know what to do. Devin got the juice. Devin got the sauce. Devin catches up. Devin gets it right. So Devin moves on to the last puzzle. Emmanuel's still struggling. And then, I guess, eventually Tori tells him again that it's supposed to be 15. And then Nelson yells at her again. I'm like, stop yelling at this grown woman. Let her do what she want to do. He still can't figure it out. He's still behind. It does not make a difference at this point. So, eventually Emmanuel figures it out. So then now they're both at the very last puzzle. And for this one, they have like diamonds that they have to match up because they're each different colors. Like it's a gray one, a green one, I think a blue one, and a pink one. So pretty much they gotta align them up to where the shades and everything align and it'll work out. That one didn't look too hard, like a little pictogram. Like you can figure that out pretty easily. So they both solving it, doing the best they can, giving a good fight. They both get a check, both were wrong. So now they know they gotta move around a few pieces. So Devin, he's a little smarter, I told y'all. He figures it out first, so Devin wins the elimination. I'm like, it was kind of a lot for my dog. Like I said, he's not good at much, but logically, he can get some things done. So I'm like, also, once again, you know, Emmanuel, not a good opponent choice for tonight. He would have done better picking Kyle, because Kyle is not smart at all. Kyle would have been still on puzzle 1 at this point. He would have had a better chance to win. And it's also funny because they titled this episode Night of Mistakes, and that's literally what it has become. Because Amanda and Emmanuel, y'all both made mistakes on who y'all picked to go against, and y'all both got sent home. So, peace out to y'all. It was nice knowing you. See you in the future. So, TJ tells them that this is now the final group. We got 8 competitors, 4 girls, 4 guys. So, we have CT, Nelson, Devin, and Kyle for the guys. And then we have Nani, Casey, Tori, and Emmy for the girls. So, Emmy, they already been calling her the Rookie of the Year. She made it to the final on her first season. She's the only rookie left. So, I'm like, okay, you did what you had to do. Shout out to you. You're still annoying. I'm tired of you crying, but that's just me personally. So, they wrap that up. That's pretty much, that was the bulk of what was happening tonight. Then we get late in the episode, we get to the final get started. So they at the final pretty much tells them to expect the unexpected throughout. You never know what's gonna happen. But as of right now, they're all playing an individual game. So to kick off the final, the first thing they have to do is they have to solve a puzzle. And then once they solve the puzzle, they have to run to a helicopter. And when they get to the helicopter, they're gonna land on the water and have to swim to the next checkpoint. So for the puzzle pretty much, it's a map of the world. So you gotta put the map in order. And then they have like these little puzzle pieces, which are different flags of different countries. And you have to put the countries on their respective places in the world. Okay, so as expected, CT is the first one to finish this puzzle. Not surprised whatsoever. CT finished his puzzle first, then you got Tori right behind him. And I was a little surprised. I knew Tori was a good competitor, but I haven't seen her compete in a final in a long time. So I didn't know she was coming out the gate swinging like this. But Tori ain't holding back. Tori doing what got to be done. I love to see it. Then after that, the challengers start completing the puzzle one after the other. They starting to figure it out, getting it solved. But very last place, we have Nani. I'm very sad. Nani, I didn't think he was going to be last at the puzzle, especially because she was one of the first ones to realize that CT didn't flip his puzzle back over when he was done. So she knew she could just copy off of him and be okay. So I'm thinking Nani going to come in like 3rd, maybe 4th with the puzzle. She was dead last. I was like, Nani, this is not how you start off the final. Like, you worked so hard to say how you want to get to a final so bad, but you're already not competing well. So we're going to hope you pick it up as the game continues. So, based on the place they came in with completing the puzzle, determines which helicopter they get in and like when they'll fall into the water to keep continuing on in the challenge. So you have CT and Tori go first. So they jump off the helicopter into the water. Then they have to swim to these little mini boat things that they get to grab onto, which will take them all the way to shore. So pretty much it's 4 helicopters in total. It's 2 challengers in each, and they each, like as time passes, they all just keep falling in the water, and then they all swimming. So they complete that part. They getting up. They get to shore. They put on dry clothes, and now they're off to run up a hill to get to the next checkpoint. So everybody running at different speeds. You got CT and Nelson back and forth as far as first place. Then towards the end, right before they get to their checkpoint, Nelly takes the lead. So he's the first one at the next checkpoint. And once again, it's another puzzle. So for this one, it's like a bunch of puzzle pieces that all come together to complete a circuit. So you have to know how to connect it from the beginning to the end. This puzzle a little harder. So they get at it, they start to work on it. And surprisingly, Devin's the first one to complete the puzzle. So Devin takes the lead and comes in first in that puzzle. So now Devin's first in the competition. And they haven't said whether or not each checkpoint is timed or not, or if it's just going to be whoever comes in first at the very end. I'm not sure how that's getting played just yet. So once they complete the circuit puzzle, when Devin gets to the top, he sees two pads. He sees a orange one and a purple one. So it's like, okay, what's going on? And then he reads it, and now it's new cell formation. So basically, it'll be 2 girls and 2 guys per cell going into the next leg of the final. So as they're completing the puzzles, they get to come and choose which team they're going to be on. So Devin was first, then came CT right after him. Then after CT, it was Tori, and then after Tori, it was Emmy. So all of them right away knew they all wanted to be on the same team because, you know, Emmy not going nowhere without CT, and Tori wants to be with her best friend Devin. Obviously, she wants to work with CT as well. So that's already a 4-person group. That's already settled. So now the last 4 that finishes the puzzle will all make up the next team, which would be Nelson, Kyle, Nani, and Casey. Yeah, interesting. Don't know how that's gonna work. I feel like it's a good group with different strengths, but for y'all to all come last in this puzzle, it's not a good look already. Like Casey was really the very last person, and that wasn't a good look for Casey at all. Because Casey normally competes pretty well, but I think that puzzle really got to it. So right now the purple team, they got a good lead possibly. Like they pretty stacked with Tori, Devin, CT, and Emmy. Like I feel like they're gonna do pretty well going into this next leg, whatever it may be. Now that's pretty much where TJ leaves us at, with them having that new cell formation, and that's where the episode ends. So going into next week's episode, we're gonna see what comes of them being in these teams. And TJ tells them that you don't want to be the last place team at the end of the following day. So I'm not sure if that's gonna mean like it's gonna be a purge, like whoever's in that cell, all of them are going home, or if there's some kind of elimination that's still gonna happen. I don't know. But I do hear something in the sneak peek for next week. They say something about, pretty much TJ says that you're going to compete against each other. So I'm assuming that if you're in that last place team, that the 2 girls in that team, 2 guys in the team are going to have to face off in elimination. And whoever loses is going to go home right then and there. And they're going to continue the final. You'll have Nani versus Casey, which is that's not going to be fun. Or you could even have CT versus Devin, which is damn near suicide at that point. So it can go a lot of different ways. I'm interested to see what happens now that they're in these teams. I want to see how the teams work together, because a lot of them haven't been on teams together this season so far, and now they're having to work together. So this is going to be interesting. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the finals so far, if you feel like it's going well. Let me know how you feel about the new team assignments, and give me any predictions you have for next week. I'm going to catch y'all next week. I'll see y'all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.